So, you did it. You've locked in your third and final working holiday visa for Australia. Huge congratulations. This is the big one, the year to make it all count. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the official government roadmap to help you navigate all the rules and make this final year your absolute best one yet. So here's our game plan. We'll start with how to think about this final adventure, then we'll get into the really critical checks you need to do before you even get on the plane. After that, we'll dive into your rights and rules while you're there, clear up some of the tricky details about your stay, and finally, show you how to get your money back after you leave. Let's get into it. All right, so this isn't just another trip, right? This is the final chapter of your working holiday story. You've put in the hard yards to get here, so let's make sure you start this year with total clarity on what's coming up. Okay, let's start with the absolute essentials. What you do before you get on that plane is so important. Seriously, getting these next few steps right will save you from major headaches or even being turned away at the Australian border. Now, this next point is a super common trap, and getting it wrong can have massive consequences. It is all about the timing and the type of visa you hold, so you're going to want to listen closely to this one. This right here is a critical distinction to understand. If you get an e-visitor or a transit visa granted after your working holiday visa has already been approved, poof, your working holiday visa is just gone. It literally ceases to exist. But an electronic travel authority or an ETA, that one is different. It does not have the same effect. So the bottom line is this. Once your third working holiday visa is granted, just stop. Stop applying for any other visas. You don't need an e-visitor or anything else to get into the country. Your working holiday visa is your golden ticket. And here are a few simple but vital checks. First, make sure the passport you're traveling on is the one linked to your visa. If you get a new one, you absolutely have to tell the Department of Home Affairs by submitting Form 929 through your MI account. If you don't, you could be denied boarding. Also, it's a good idea to keep a copy of your visa grant letter with you, and don't forget to fill out that incoming passenger card they give you on the plane. Okay, you've landed. You made it through customs, and you're officially in Australia for your third year. So what are the rules of the game now that you're here? The freedom this visa gives you is just incredible. You can do pretty much any kind of work, you can study for up to 4 months, and you can travel in and out of Australia as much as your heart desires. It's really designed to give you the most flexibility possible for your final year. Now, when it comes to work, the number to remember is 6. 6 months. That's generally the max time you can work for any single employer. But here's a fantastic tip. If you worked for someone on your first or second visa, the clock resets. You can go back to them for another 6 months. This is perfect if you found a job you really loved and want to pick up right where you left off. While you're working, you're definitely going to hear the term superannuation, or just super. Basically, it's a retirement savings fund that's required by law. If you're earning over a certain amount, your employer has to contribute to it for you. Now, this is your money, and we'll talk about exactly how you can claim it back a little later on. And this part is non-negotiable. You have the exact same legal protections at work as any Australian citizen. That covers everything from your pay rate to your safety. And just like them, you are required by law to pay tax on the money you earn. Okay, this next part is where things can get a little bit tricky for people. Your visa is good for 12 months, but when does that 12-month clock actually start ticking? Well, the answer depends entirely on where you were when your visa was granted. This table makes it super simple. If you were outside Australia when you got the good news, your 12 months start the day you arrive. Easy. If you are already in Australia on your second working holiday visa, it just rolls right over. Your third year kicks in the moment that second visa expires. And if you are on a different type of visa, your 12 months start from the grant date of this third one. And here's a really crucial point. Let's say you decide to pop over to New Zealand or Bali for a bit. That time still counts towards your 12 months. The clock does not pause just because you've left the country. For anyone who applied from outside of Australia, this is a hard deadline. You have exactly 12 months from the day your visa was granted to enter the country and activate it. And just to be clear, this cannot be extended or pushed back. And here it is, the most important rule of them all. This is the end of the line. You can't extend this third working holiday visa, and there's no such thing as a fourth one. If you want to stay in Australia any longer, you'll need to start looking at completely different visa options. So your Australian adventure doesn't have to end the second your flight takes off. There is one last, very important step that could put a nice chunk of cash right back in your pocket. Remember that superannuation we talked about? Well, you can claim it back once you've left Australia for good. The process is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you're eligible, get your details together, and apply for what's called the Departing Australia Superannuation Payment. A common mistake is not keeping track of different super funds if you had a few jobs, so try to consolidate them if you can. It's your money, you earned it, don't leave it behind. So there you have it, the complete roadmap for your third working holiday visa. You know the rules, you know your rights, and you know the key deadlines. This is your final year on this amazing program, so the only question left is, how are you going to make it unforgettable?